Last time the message was Andin gun gaava prabh tere tud salaahi pritam mere tud bin avar na koi jacha gur prasadi tu paavni-aa. Andin, day and night, gun gaava, be in your praise, always be in your memory. Once I understood the message, once I internalized it, once it stopped being just a intellectual concept and it descended down to my heart, now the routine is every moment, day and night, irrespective of what my hands and other limbs are doing, my mind stays with you, my thought stays with you. You are now part of my memory. Now I do not have to make any special effort. It is very significant to understand this, very important to spend some time on it. If that memory is not becoming part of your being, then whatever you will do will be purely mechanical and ritualistic. And you cannot fool him with the ritualistic and mechanical efforts. The world can be fooled by that, but he cannot be. And we have learned this right here in our own life. When first time the driving instructor put me behind the wheel and asked me to drive, the car just would not go where he said the car should go. It was either going right or they were going left, and he was saying, no, it should go straight. And my response was, I am driving straight. The car seems to have a mind of its own. Look, I am holding on to the steering very tight. I said, well, that's the basic problem. Relax. I can see the redness on your knuckles. Just look straight. Okay, I'll look straight. Then I will look what's right next to the bumper. And the instructor is saying, no, straight doesn't mean to the bumper. Look up in the sky. And I said, are you nuts? If I look in the sky, I will certainly hit somebody. Nothing made sense. Herky, jerky, left and right and everything. Then within about 4 to 6 weeks, now I am not driving the car because I am talking to my girlfriend. And I am describing in the scenery. Look, honey, what's over there? But the car is going. And not left and right, going where it's supposed to go. Now, how did this miracle happen? It became part of my being. driving became a part of my inner self. Now there is no effort required. It just goes. And every single one of us have gone through that process and experience, and we know it, that this is not any mythical example being given to you. What you are being asked, just as you spend 4 to 6 weeks behind a driving wheel, at least put that much effort in remembering Him, practicing to remembering Him. While your hands are doing the cooking, all you need is stir the pot. Could you not remember Him while you are stirring the pot? What is the difficulty? When you are in your shower, do you have to sing Madonna's song? Could you not sing Him? What is so difficult? And why it is so repulsive? Why it is not enjoyable? Because He is the reason you are here. He is your foundation. If He doesn't want you to be here, you will not be here, even for an extra second. A mystic, a seeker, a spiritualist who is a true seeker understands this principle, and a very simple principle. And what does he do? Andin gurgama prabhutere. You are in my memory now, day and night. And if I have to say anything good, it's about you. Now hold it. Why is that? Is there nothing else that is good in this universe? Think about it for a moment. Why, when you want to think about good, you only want to think about Him? And why not about anything else? Very simple. I won't keep you in suspense. Whatever good you are seeing outside, it is because there is something bad with respect to that goodness. When I say, Jennifer, you are a very beautiful woman, I have already said, Jennifer, there is some ugly woman somewhere. I haven't used the words. Because the beauty exists simply because ugliness also exists. Otherwise, beauty cannot exist. If the opposites are not available, they both drop simultaneously. If there is a hill and you bring in a construction worker and say, I want you to remove this hill from this place, but I do not want you to touch the valley. Can he do it? Because every layer he removes from the hill, the valley is going up automatically without touching the valley. Because the hill and valley coexist. There is only one energy in this whole of the creation. I'm not talking of just our galaxy or so many billions of galaxies or so this. I'm not talking in terms of cosmological or astronomical terms. If there are other dimensions, as scientists are saying, there are supposed to be 11 dimensions. Okay. There may be 11 million, so what? They are all creations of a single creator. And that creator has no positive or negative. That's the beauty of that creator. It has no human limitations or human characteristics, good or bad. And if you try to take this model to any one of the three major religions of the world, you are going to be pushed back because they cannot relate with it. Their whole infrastructure will come crumbling down if you tell them there's only one without any characteristics. It is this quality which tells you, if you are going to say anything good, say about him. Because everything else exists with respect to somebody else. When you say, this is my right hand, how do you know? You will immediately say, oh, look, this is my left hand. But if we never had the left hand, this right or left or up or down would be totally meaningless. So the message last time was, Tudh salaahay pritam mere. Only you are the one who is praiseworthy. Enough. Stop here, mister. I do everything good in my life. Why I am not praiseworthy? Well, you are not. Why? Look, you just told me that you are not. Everything you do good reminds you that you are good. Every good is increasing your I, your ego. He has never reminded me that look how much good I am doing. Not only for you, but for the whole universe. He has never claimed the credit. On the contrary, 40% of the world population is saying you don't exist. And you say, okay. If you say so, I would never tell you that I exist. I will never insist. That is the reason for his praise. Every human on this planet claims a credit for every little thing. And that creator doesn't claim a credit for anything, however big, however small. You would not find that anywhere recognized by any one of the mystics. Buddha never came back. I am now enlightened and he is telling me, go tell the world, I am that I am. He doesn't. My Jewish brothers are going to have a very big problem with this statement. But the matter of fact is, from the entire beginning to the end, there will never be any claim driven by that entity. He, she, it, nothing, whatever you want to call it. There is no claim. Hence, if there is any credit, belongs to that creative energy. As a matter of fact, I prefer not to use the word God or Ram or Allah or anything. It's just pure creativity. And the creativity has no beginning, no middle, no end. Creativity is happening now. And now my Christian brother are going to have a problem with that, because they have 6 days locked in. I submit to you, whether 6 days mean 6 million years or 6 hours is totally irrelevant. There is no number. Creativity started and creativity is continuing as we speak. And it will not end. Not in our life. Because if there is not, you're going to ask those people, those scientists who are saying the universe is expanding and further it goes, faster it goes. Then ask them, where is it going? Oh, it's going into the space. Okay. Who created the space? And who is creating the space? Where is the space coming from? Do we know how big it is? No, it is just going on, and as it expands, we know that it has gone even further. When I put a seed in the ground and I find a flower coming up, I say, wow, he is still creating. When a child becomes to a teenager, I say, wow, the creativity is still taking place. Why? Because that particular teenager is like no other teenager ever born in this consciousness, and that teenager will never repeat again. Is it not creativity in work right in front of you? Are you going to deny it? Isn't it a new being? Brand new, which has no other blueprint ever created? Oh, it is just by accident. Darwin already told us. Okay, so be it. If you're going to close your eyes and your mind to something that's happening right in front of you and give it a twist to suit your own ego, he doesn't mind. Because he doesn't mind, so I'm not going to mind either. Who am I? I'm also one of his creation. And I see that miracle inside me all the time. Yesterday I was younger than I am today. And I'm trying to tell him, stop, stop, stop. He said, why? What do you mean? I'm going to listen to you? Who are you? Oh, this is my body. What control do you have over your body? How do you dare to call it, this is mine? Can you stop the aging process? Sickening process. Tell it never to get sick. Stop. You've been fed wrong information. Your programming is faulty. Come back. Let's get to the basic. What is the basic? Tudh salaahay pritam mere, tudh bin avarna koi jacha, gur prasadi tu paavni-aa. Not only that he does not put any claim on it, there is no comparison. If you are to describe this energy, you couldn't. Even if you knew it, you couldn't. Even if this energy is staring you in your face and you are actually seeing it from your within, you couldn't describe it. Why? There is no example. You can describe me, it looks like a man, he wears this kind of a turban and this kind of a beard, and this is, you must have seen it over. You have plenty of examples to describe me. How do you describe him? What is he like? Is there a comparison? Is there another one? No, there's only one. Tudh bina varna koi, no one else in the entire human consciousness. What else can you say about it? I can say about it what he is not. I cannot say what he is. Every word about him will be in the negative. He's unborn. Negative. He's undying. Negative. He is untouched by anything. Negative. Every word will be negative about him. You cannot describe him in positive terms, because in order to do that, you have to see it face to face. Agam agochar mit nahee paaee. He is unlimited. Negative. Agam agochar. Agam, something that you cannot have an idea about. Agochar means something that you can actually discuss. Myth means that you can fix something. Just as a science student deals with the symbol of infinity. If a science student wants to put his or her teacher in a fix, ask the teacher to define infinity. How big is the infinity? So they start putting the numbers. The largest number ever written on a piece of paper when talking of the cosmos is 1 followed by 120 zeros. That's the largest number they have found that's relating to the universe. Is it in infinity? Because if you say it is in infinity, I'm going to put 1 zero more again. It doesn't matter how big a number it is, I'm just going to say this number, I'll put this number in a bracket, call it x, and then put plus 1 in front of it and say, now is it infinity? You cannot define infinity. You cannot mathematically add, subtract, multiply, divide a number infinity. It is not a number, it is a symbol. How would you define infinite? He is infinite. The very word infinite is a misnomer. Why? Because my language is finite. My words are finite. It says something about my weakness, not about his strength. My weakness is, in the language, I have no words. My vocabulary fails me. So I am just grasping. And in grasping, what do? I say he is infinite. Wouldn't it be nice to just say, I don't know? So what's wrong with that saying, I don't know? Wait a minute. I don't know? How can that be? You're going to kill me. I exist. I exist only to know. You're going to kill that I in me? I don't know. No, I wouldn't say that. I will say, I know. He's infinite. And then you turn around, okay, I'm not going to talk about him. He's infinite, okay, you tell me, help me understand your infinity. Because you are determined to break that bubble, that ego in me, who is absolutely resisting the attempt to say, I don't know. He is unknowable. He is beyond all intellect. He is beyond all words, all language, all mathematical equation. This is exactly what the scientists are doing today. Writing equation after equation after equation and saying, we'll figure it out. He doesn't exist. This is all by accident. Something from nothing. It is totally possible. Laws of physics make it possible to create something out of nothing. If you don't believe it, go home today, Google the term something out of nothing, and you will find books listed, available on Amazon.com by various scientists trying to prove something out of nothing. Knock yourself out. Agam, agochar, nahee, paa-ee, you cannot. It's pure arrogance, it's pure ego. Who claims I know? Or we know. Collective amnesia based on something written in the scripture. How do you know? Refer to that book. Okay, who wrote this book? Weren't these books written by people? Yes. How did they know? Have they left any proof? No, it is just word of mouth. Storytelling after storytelling after storytelling after storytelling. When I came to this country and eventually worked my way up to the management ranks, they sent me to a management training, and the first lesson was in means of communication. American management has one of these biggest hang-ups, that the people from the other part of the world do not understand American market or American people or American language. They cannot handle American labor. Okay, they sent me for a 5-day course, locked it in a room for 24 hours and 5 days lesson. And the first lesson, means of communication. 10 managers from different part of the world for the same company. And they gave us an experiment. And I was shocked. I was about 29 years old at that time. I was on the end of the line. And the facilitator came and said something to my ear, and I said, pass this on to the next manager in the ear. Just what I told you. And the 10th manager was asked to write on a piece of paper What did he hear? And then that paper was passed down to all the rest of the 9 managers. No manager could recognize the words written over there that they have ever said it. Slowly, nuance of each word started changing. Today, at this stage of my life, I am sitting and wondering, a scripture that was written after 500 years of passing away of the mystic and the words only traveling by mouth, they are still considered the correct words. Why don't you give up? Why don't you accept the fact it is not the subject of the intellect? Agam agochar mein nahee paaee, you cannot. Even this statement, much less the mystery, this statement that you cannot understand is not understood by everyone. It's not accepted by everyone. It creates a revolution inside. What do you mean? You think I'm that stupid? I cannot understand this much, that it is not a subject for of intellect. I understand that. No, you don't. Because if you understood it, you will stop it instantaneously. There will be no further discussion. It will be a quiet. Because there will be nothing to talk about. Intellect will be shut down. But that intellect is still arguing. It is still alive. It is still awake. You haven't understood it. Your words are saying it, but the reality is totally different. When did that happen? Is it possible to happen? So yes, it can happen. Apnee kirpaa kare tooN milaa-ee. It happens when he sends you the grace. When he blesses you. You are not the chosen one because you are born to a parent. You are only the chosen one because he is opening your mind to bigger and better things. If your mind is closing and becoming narrower and narrower, actually, he is going further away and away from you. The chosen means open to the entire consciousness, every kind of information from all parts of the universe, and it should not scare you, and it should not threaten you. What should I do? It should humble you. It should bring you down to your knees. Say, you are that you are. It is His grace. And the sign of the grace is humility starts multiplying. Arrogance starts going down. Ego starts flying out of your system. I is replaced by he, you, him. The language changes, behavior changes, lifestyle changes, friends change, relatives change. Everything around you will change and you will change. पूरे गुर के शब्द Dhi-aa-ee-ai, शब्द sayv sukh paavni-aa. So then what's left for you if you get to that stage? See, only one thing. His memory. In whichever shape, form, words, language, it doesn't matter. If Allah reminds you the Creator, then go right ahead. If Ram reminds you of the Creator, go right ahead. If God reminds you of that, go right ahead. But if God is reminding you a body, a form, a shape, a name, a history, a story, you aren't going anywhere. You are still stuck. If the words are reminding you of the infinite, then you are on the right track. If it is limiting you in any shape or form, if you think God is a Christian word, you are not using the God properly. If you think Allah is a Muslim word, you are not using Allah properly. Because Allah existed before Muhammad did. If you don't believe me, ask any expert of Arabic language. Allah was not designed by Muhammad. And Arabic was not created by Muhammad. Ram is not a word created by Hindus. Ram existed pre-Veda. Go do the research. We put our ownership on it. What is the end result? We are not only not closer to Him, we are not even closer to each other. If you are going further away from the creation, how can you be closer to the Creator? And your insistence that God is a Christian word is making you further and further and further away from the non-Christians. But if God is universal, if the word God is infinite, then you are pulling everybody closer to you. No, but you want to draw a boundary. You draw a circle, stand inside the circle and say, everything inside the circle is mine and it is the purest, highest, and everything outside the circle is all junk. It cannot be all thrown away, wasted away, it doesn't matter. That means you haven't received the grace yet. You have not been blessed yet. Forget your label. Jew, Christian, Muhammad, Hindus, Buddhists, forget about it. You are not the chosen one. The chosen one, arms and the hands and everything is wide open. No boundary, no limits. Pooray gurmukh sabdee aaye. This you get from the true master. You do not get from the pseudo-intellectuals. Shabd sayv sukh paavni-aa. And then you take, shabd means that word. Then you take the word that reminds you of Him. Any. Only connecting you to Him. And when you get to that stage, what happens? Rasnaa gunvantee gaavai, naam salaahay, sachay bhaavai, gurmukh sada rahe rangrati, mil sachay sobha paavni-aa. Rasna means something, the energy that tastes, not the tongue. Tongue is a muscle. But behind that muscle there is a awareness. The awareness which says, my taste bud is tasting something salty or sweet or bitter. That energy which is sitting behind the tongue is called rasnaa. Ras, taste. What is this energy doing now? It is not enjoying anything, it's not tasting anything from the outside. It is now tasting everything from inside. Somebody who is dumb and mute and he just eats sugar and you ask him, how does it taste? What do you think he's going to do? He's just going to say, just going to lick his tongue and shake his head. What else he can do? Cannot describe it. But he tastes it. That's what happens to a mystic. When he tastes that word inside, he says, well, I am saying the same word, it doesn't happen to me. I just said Ameen, Ameen, Amen many times, it didn't do anything to me. Yeah, you only use your tongue. You did not use the energy behind the tongue. Oh, come on, this is all mumbo jumbo. I don't understand it. Where is that energy? I have never seen it. I have never known it. No doctor has ever identified it. I told you, this is not a subject of the intellect. The doctors are not going to identify it. A master will. A mystic will. A doctor won't. Because at best he can do it, take a little knife and cut little scrap, little tongue and say, well, I see the nerves are all working. Everything is fine. The taste buds are working. He can't help you with that. This belongs in mysticism. It doesn't belong in allopathy or homeopathy or Ayurvedic. It doesn't belong in any medical sciences. Rasnaa gunvantee gaavai. That energy behind is now tasting him directly. And when that taste comes, then naam salaahay sachay bhaavai. More he tastes, more in ecstasy he goes. You want to see that ecstasy today? Go on the YouTube and search for Sufi mystics and watch them just going in circle with their eyes closed. And watch their faces and sit back and wonder, what are they tasting? As a matter of fact, you might get the urge enough to stand up and go in circle a few times and say, well, nothing happened. What is this? I'm only feeling a little dizzy because I'm going in circle. For hours together, not sitting down, not saying a word, the head is stuck in one direction and just going round and round and round, non-stop. That is experiencing him through not the senses of hearing or seeing, but the energy that is behind these senses. Rasnaa gunvantee gaavai, naam salaahay sachay bhaavai, gurmukh sada rahe rangrati, min sachay so paavni-aa. Then day and night, that's all you want to do. That's all you want to, because that's where the real enjoyment is. Food enjoyment is nothing. Attachments are nothing. Physical pleasures are momentarily and most of the time very embarrassing. This is eternal. It exists. It's not a theory. Darwin has been trying to sell his idea for the last 150 years. It is still an evolutionary theory. It's not a reality. Not been able to do it. Cannot do it. Will never be done. But this is not a theory. This is a reality. Gurmukh sada rahe rangrati. Day and night in that intoxicant. There is no drug potent like this. Alcohol will come down in 24 hours and your other drugs might take a weekend to come down, but they will come down. This will never come down. Once you taste it, you are there. Never to fall down again. Falling down happens only when you are riding up and you are not yet on the cliff. Once you reach the top, there is no risk of slipping. But as you are riding, you can slip. Which what happens to lots of seekers. They slip. They fall back. They lose faith. They lose heart. Oh, it's too long. How much more? I am tired. I can't keep up with it. They give up. They fall down. But once you get on the top, now you stay. It is describing that stage. Gurmukh sada rahe rangrati mil sachay so bha paavni-aa manmukh karm kare ahankari joo-ai janam sa baji hari antar lobh maha gobara fir aaman jaavani-aa. But that's not what the humans are doing. Why? Why are they not doing it? It says they are manmukh. Man means the mind. They are following their own mind. They are not following the mind of the mystics, the masters, the gurus. They are following their own mind. And what is in their own mind? What the society, the parents, the universities, the colleges, the books, the neighbors, whatever they have put, all that junk. That's their world. And they follow that. Because they keep on following the junk, all they get is junk. What is the end result then? Manmukh karma kare ahankari. Ahankari means adding to the ego, the arrogance. It's mind-boggling to me. Every war fought by America in the last 50 years has been lost by America. And they still say, we are the mightiest of nations on the planet. Did they not lose the Vietnam War? What did they win in the Iraq? Are they not losing in Afghanistan and now running out? What happened with the Korean War? But the arrogance and the ego would not let you come down to the reality and face. That is a manmukh, following your own mind. Your own mind will always lead you to the destruction of your consciousness. It won't do anything to you physically, but your soul will go to sleep. And we say that, what is about these people who commit these heinous crimes? So what's the normal response? They have no conscience. What does that mean? Where did it go? Where did the conscience go? It is still there. But what has happened? Because the senses are listening to the mind, the consciousness switches itself off and goes to sleep. That's it. It's still there. It's not gone anywhere. Because without consciousness, you cannot be alive. You are alive, that means consciousness is there, soul is there, energy is there, you are breathing, you are eating, you are sleeping. All functions are there. That means the only thing that has happened to you is that energy which is supposed to help you distinguish between positive and negative, right and wrong. It's gone to sleep. That's it. And now all the decisions are coming from here, the information that is stored in the brain. The conscious is not speaking to you. Manu karm kare ahankari, joo-ai janam sab baji hari. Then joo-ai literally means gambling. That means you have gambled away your entire life on this planet. You gambled, used your mind, and lost it. Antar lobh maha gobara fir aaman jaavani-aa. Okay, so what is the big deal if I lost this? You say, no, there's no harm, there's no foul. He's not angry with you, he's not mad with you, he's not upset with you. All he is telling you, you will have to come back. That's all. You will be born again. Oh, come on. My book tells me there's only one life, either you go to hell or you go to heaven. Okay. If that's what you want to believe. Do you have any proof? Have you thought about it? Is it logical to think that there is only one life? Of course it is. At that judgment day, he's going to wake every righteous one. Why? Can he not create new ones on the judgment day? Does he need the old and burned bodies? The skeletons? Could he not create new ones? New skeletons? New souls? New humans? If he is going to populate the earth anyway, why not start fresh? Oh, come on. You are a blasphemic and you are destined for hell. Okay, what will he do with me? Oh, you will go to the eternal hell. Forever and ever and ever. You mean just this statement, one mistake, is absolutely unpardonable? That for eternity, I cannot be forgiven? Oh, come on now. Even the judges here forgive the insane one. He is not in his right mind when he committed that crime. Leave him. So you just said, I am insane, I am saying these things. So why would I be punished? No. Stop talking. We don't want to listen. We don't want to hear. Shut this down. Okay. You are not here for one cycle. I can assure you of that. And I can prove it to you. Logically and scientifically and philosophically and mystically. But if you don't want to hear, we will not talk about it. But because you don't believe it, doesn't mean the truth is going to change. It is not your slave. It is not looking for an approval from you. You do not believe it, doesn't mean it's going to go away. It's not going to change its nature. This drama is going to continue. The players will come into this drama and they will exit this drama when their time comes. And they will come back depending upon how well they played their role last time. And they will continue coming to this drama till they get all the lessons and become like him. Then they will be called back. They will merge into one. Until that cycle will continue. Juए janam sabaji hari. Antar log mahagubara phir aman jaane. Again and again. Fifr means again and again. Aman means to come. Javan means to go. You are in this eternal cycle of life and death. And he is asking you, you are born like a human. You can die like an animal. You can die like a man. You can die like a devil. Or you can die like a god. All choices are available to you. And if you die like a god in this physical form, you will not be born again. And if you die like anything else, you will have to come back and work through this lesson plan over and over again. आपे करता दे वडी-aa-ee जिनको आप लिख दुर्भाए नानक नाम मिले भाव भंजन गुर शब्दी सुख पावनि-aa. So do one thing. Seek that intellect. Pray for that understanding so that that creator, the karta, the doer, the creator can give you that quality. If you have that intellect and he graces you with that, then you will become worthy of finishing your entire journey right in this life cycle. So, that's a hymn 34 on page 130. And as per our time plan, we'll take a pause here. I want to thank you all for coming. There are some new members here. As usual, if anything touched your heart, consider it a message from the beyond. If anything hurt your feelings, emotions, disturbed your mind, then consider it as coming from my ego, my ignorance, and I sincerely apologize for that. With that, we close the session, and now if there are any comments or questions, the lines are still open.